Good afternoon, friends. This is Sanjay Agrawal. We are here at DefSet 2024. So, this event has been inaugurated in the morning by the Chief of Defence Staff. We also had the Australian High Commissioner, Philip Green, right?
Philip Green, yeah.
Yes, and he has also spoken about the Australian space industry being far ahead because of. He's given some reasons why they're ahead. He's talking about the dark skies. So we have an ex Air Force guy. Yeah. So you'll introduce yourself, and they've had a MOU today with Dr. Subbarao. So
Yep.
I want you to introduce yourself, and it's welcome to India, back to India in 24. We met in 23.
Yep.
Please introduce yourself.
Well, Sanjay, it's great to be back. I'm Air Commodore Terry Van Haren, retired. I'm currently the president of the Asia Pacific region and the managing director of Leo Labs Australia, which is a subsidiary of Leo Labs Inc. in the US. But I'm also a director of the Space Industry Association of Australia. And this morning it was fantastic, in fact, to exchange an MOU with Satcom Industry Association of India. It's very similar to ours. A collaborative MOU. So we're going to cooperate in the future to promote both of our organisations and hopefully improve the business-to-business relationships between Australian and Indian space companies.
Wonderful. And today we are just missing out on the ISRO chairman, the man who made it happen. I wanted to wish him today and tell him that you're the man, you're the moon man. You know, in India we have the man who brought the white revolution, the milk revolution to India, and then
Yep.
this man has brought the final frontiers,
Yep.
to India. So he's not there, Mr. S. Somnath. So how did you feel when India made the successful landing of Chandrayaan 3?
Oh, that was fantastic. It was such a special mission. I think the whole world was watching, and to see that India made that successfully last year made everyone take notice. It also showed that India's got a fairly ambitious space program that's being developed, but you've also got the right technologies, the right people, the right industries to make it happen. So I think it was very good to see. It was internationally, I'm sure everyone took notice, and it's an exciting event for India and for everyone else that's watching around the world.
Yeah, and we just want to also know more about your company, where you're now, means the main force with Leo Orbits. So if you can tell about that.
Yeah, certainly. So Leo Labs is the world leader in tracking objects in low Earth orbit with our network of radars all around the world. So we've got 10 radars on 6 sites, and we're actually producing as much data as the US government. We're actually aiming to provide that to the commercial space operators for safety of flight. And in fact, today we support the owners and operators of 70% of the satellites in low Earth orbit. But the other side of it is the security side of space. So this is where we can provide data and services to governments all around the world to augment their space domain awareness systems. We call it the security side because we're watching everything that's going on. We're providing that data set for further analysis in different governments. And we're supporting the US government, the Australian government, Japanese. There's about 3 European countries which we're about to hopefully sign up. And India, of course, is a nation that needs that space domain awareness to advance your program. So honestly, I'm here to look for partnerships and collaboration. Hopefully we can add India to the network.
Yes, and last year when you were here in April 23, so they talked about space diplomacy. So that was my question then to the ISRO chief. You want to say anything in space diplomacy, which has been means in 24, means once the world got out of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and now means everybody's working so fast.
Yep.
It's means as if they've all got their booster engines.
Yep.
So
Well, the new space race is on.
so on.
It's a commercial space
Starting to
race.
garbage as well.
Well, yeah, no, it's commercially led
Yes.
very much. It's like the commercial innovation companies that are doing a lot of things in space, SpaceX and others growing their constellations. And of course, governments are also advancing their programs. But honestly, the safety, the security, the sustainability of the space environment is really about diplomacy. It's actually about cooperation. Um, as we all develop these industries in space, we actually have to get the politics right. and work together between internationally as companies, but also as governments to set standards and rules and behaviours that we can all work with for simple things such as just managing the traffic of space.
Yeah.
And these are the things which are the biggest challenges.
And I just want to know your vision for 2047. It's because our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's spearheading everything because 100 years for India. But then I don't want to be country specific. I want to say what's going to be the world in 2047 when we may be there, we may not be there, we may be in space.
Well, that's 2047. There's going to be a lot of activity. There's probably going to be a colonised moon and probably a colony on Mars. There's certainly going to be a lot of commercial enterprise in the space environment. There's going to be a whole infrastructure of the Earth be off the planet. I mean, cellular services, a whole bunch of things we get today will be coming through commercial satellite operators, and that means there has to be a lot of cooperation again, internationally between the nations that want to set and follow the rules, and also work together collaboratively to advance space. So it's a bright future, I think, but it's going to have its challenges, of course, both in internationally and in each country. But I think what we'll end up learning is that if we work together, that we can really build an industry that can support all mankind.
Yeah, I was just trying to take my mind away from this conference, and then I just thought about Elon Musk, and then we thought about Richard Branson. These two guys,
Yep.
they're the private entrepreneurs who are really big names.
Yep.
So, what do you think that is there whatever they're doing? Is this the right means? Are they going to be in the means private and the government? So, where do they fit in?
Well, yes, I think the commercial industries will really advance quite quickly.
It's going to grow.
It's going to grow, and it's because what we can see is commercial industry can do things very efficiently in terms of cost and quickly, but also do things internationally quicker than governments at times as well. So I think you'll see a number of space companies that will grow and be. This is like really the information age. So we now see the Googles, the AWSs, all these sort of big information companies on Earth. We're going to see all these space-based type companies growing to support this new era of space economy. Really, that's what we're doing, is growing an economy in the space environment. And the other thing, what's going to happen in 2047? Let's talk about Australia and India. Maybe we have a game of cricket on the moon.
Yes.
With really some sort
You
of
can
ball.
play.
Well, we'll do it on the moon.
We love those
on Mars.
kangaroos. Your what's your
Yeah, kangaroos. Yeah.
yeah, all that your had some other all these going to be there on the moon. People
Well,
are going to fly them,
I-
the pets or whatever.
No, mate, I don't know if we want to take them up there, but yeah,
It's
they.
gonna be, I believe that everybody is going to be more educated. We'll be a world where we are free of from evil forces. Means the dark web is there, but then means everybody's looking for hope and light somewhere. So I would just lastly, this is Abbas. So Abbas is also into the space as we discussed, and we wish him also the best. He's going to be there in 2047. And lastly, the DefSet, the association. I want you to talk about their, association. They're just 3 years old. This is the second event they're holding. So, what do you feel? What is means about them? You want to say some words?
Yeah, look, I've now come to I think 4 events for SIA India. I've been impressed every time I've come to one of the events. They're well organised, they're well structured, they've got all the right speakers, they're thought leading as well, and I think that's a catalyst for industry growth here in India. So that's why I was keen to make sure, the Space Industry Association of Australia, we could learn and cooperate internationally with SIA India. And if we do so, we'll both be able to promote each other and hopefully develop our individual and national businesses, but in international sense. And it's actually happening. There's a whole bunch of little things going on between the two countries. Programs in Australia where we're assembling the Space Machines Company, for example. Well, guess what? A lot of the structure's been built here in India and, assembled, and then we've flown on a SpaceX launch on the 1st of March. So these little things are all starting to develop, and I think over time that they will be successful and those ventures will scale.
And today, since the partnership between the Space Industry Association and India and Australia, and your High Commissioner was there, so I just want you to means it's going to be, everything moves from even from bottom to the top.
Yep.
So, how's the Australian Prime Minister going to take this MOU?
Well, I think it's just part of the great cooperations going on between Australia and India. And when the High Commissioner was talking, they were talking about the strategic cooperation and the ministerial level work that's going on, the free trade agreement that's been developed between the countries. Then I was thinking, actually, it goes all the way down because there's plenty of education in Australia, Indian students in Australia and Australians coming to India for business. It's already happening at a very local level in different parts of our economies and also our general life. And of course, we've been great sporting rivals and sporting partners for years, right?
We had Sir Donald Bradman.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
So, I would say it's going to be successful. And obviously now the politicians are looking at the way that we can structure strategic cooperation. And that's very important with agreements and, hoping to increase the trade between the two countries. But really the business is already there.
Yes.
The cooperation is already happening.
Already happening. And I think just lastly, if you want to add, the universities in, I don't know, Melbourne, Sydney, I haven't been. So are these universities offering courses in the space domain?
Yeah, there's a couple of, firstly, Australia is a really big nation. I say we have access of an octosphere of the Earth. So
You're one of the continents.
yeah, well, we could have an
One of the large
octa. Well, 1/8 of the Earth is basically
Is it?
is observable
Wow.
from Australia, right? Okay, that means in astronomy, radio astronomy, space surveillance, and these things, the university's been doing that for years. So we're some of the world's leaders in surveillance, if you like. And of course, as many Indian students have come to Australia and done their bachelors, masters, and even done PhDs. And many Indians have actually.
Yes,
migrated
therefore,
to
that was
Australia.
my question was directed to the Indians who wish to go overseas and study.
Yeah,
in
there's plenty of
Australia.
them. I mean, every time I fly to India, the airplane's full,
Oh,
full of people
lovely.
going each way.
We'll request you to share some pictures while you're in flight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that just speaks to the volume of cooperation and trade and business that's actually occurring now between the two nations. So I can only see that growing. I need to put more airplanes on.
Thank you very much. And I just, when we met last year, I think we'd now means he must be enjoying the Indian food as well. He must have developed a certain
Oh, I
taste.
love a good curry. Yeah, no problem about that. And
Yeah, so we'll, means if today evening maybe we can catch over dinner.
yeah.
So thank you very much. This is Sanjay Agrawal signing off.